Very often, I'll be presented with something that conceptually seems to make sense, but I have no idea how to use it, like a stove or a broom. And I used to be the same way with the pentatonic scale until I kind of figured out how to actually apply it in a musical context. So we're going to make sense of the pentatonic scale because a lot of times you probably have seen this shape like, but sometimes it can be hard to kind of fit that into the context of playing a song, like maybe if you're playing like an A minor chord. You want to just kind of like just jam it in there. So we're going to use it in a more musical context, and it is going to sound something like this as an example. So we're just taking two chords and going back and forth between the minor pentatonic scale that we know and love. So again, maybe the first shape you've seen, I remember the first shape that I ever saw was this A minor pentatonic, where you start on the 5th fret of the E string, and you go 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. Solid position, possibly the most famous position in guitar history, but sometimes it's not really easy to get there. Like maybe if you're playing open chords, you kind of feel like you have to just run into it, and you're jumping back and forth and kind of forcing something to happen from these open chords, and then just kind of trying to jam something in here. So I think a more musical way to play these exact same notes is going to be like this. It's going to sound like this. Same notes, but we're kind of playing them through the neck instead of in a static position. Now, that's not to say that there's not a lot of value in learning all of the static positions, because eventually you can do the same thing. But I think this is kind of a good way to kind of get into cruising through it. So basically, we're starting with the open A string. We're going 3, 5, 7. If you have dots on your inlays, and recognize these beautiful Martin off-center dots we got going on here, you can just go jumping on these dots, hopping dot to dot. It's a dot hop, everybody. Open 3, 5, 7. Those are the first 4 notes, which is the exact same thing as this, just a different way to play it. And I like this because a lot of times you become from an A minor open chord, and you can just kind of jump right into that. So that's just kind of like the first way that you can maybe build notes from this new kind of way to cruise through this shape into a chord. Now we're not going to stop there. We're actually going to go to a different string now. Now these are going to be the same way to play it inside this shape. So after we get to the 7th fret on the A string, we're going to go A string, open, 3, 5, 7. And also I think the fingering is important here too. Open, pointer finger 3, ring, slide, then down a string, index ring, down a string, index, ring, slide, middle B string, pinky, 10th fret on the B string, to the 13th fret on the B string. Okay, so again, like let's listen to both ways. Here's the position way. And then going through the neck. Exact same thing, playing it in a different way. And then it's all just about the context of what you want to play musically. So maybe we want to build off of this A minor chord, and that's like a cool way that you can maybe incorporate a little bit of lead playing into your chord playing if you're doing maybe a solo acoustic thing, or really in any kind of context. If you want to maybe just kind of do something differently in between these chords instead of just maybe just playing and strumming an A minor chord the whole time. Or if you want to go to like another chord in that progression, we can kind of take it a little farther. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this C major chord and I'm going to slide into the 7th fret on the D string. This is just one example. Again, I really encourage you to just learn this pattern and make up your own. But one way to kind of just think about it is C sliding into the D string on the 7th fret, which again, there's that note. We can slide right from here to there and maybe finish that shape. Or play around within it, like that one right there. Slide index, ring, pinkie, middle B string, and then maybe backwards and forward like that. Doesn't always have to be in order. In fact, sometimes if you always play it just ascending and descending, it'll have kind of a mechanical scale type sound. So you want to be able to kind of jump around forward and back. So right here again, I'm going to slide to the 9th fret of the G string, which ends up right there. I don't have to start here. I can jump into this spot from absolutely any of those chords that I've been playing before that. C major. And then I can finish the shape from there. Whatever, you know? The exact same notes of staying in a static shape, but because I'm doing these kind of long slides, sometimes you get that awesome righteous guitar sliding sound, and then into the next spot, okay? So, really, take any of these chords. Again, I'm just using the A minor, C major as an example. This is the A minor pentatonic scale we've been working with. Anything in the key C will sound great. You do this over a G chord too. G, A minor, C. You know, it's just kind of matching maybe little pieces of this run that you want to kind of extend chords with, however you want to use it. But I do think it's a more sensible way to start thinking about the pentatonic scale instead of getting caught up in kind of getting stuck in some of these hand positions. Again, hand positions are a totally great way to learn. It's definitely the way I learned. But as soon as you can, I think it's good to start maybe exploring the fretboard a little bit more and then incorporating that with the hand positions. You know, so maybe you want to climb up the pentatonic scale this way and then go back down through the hand position. It's all about just making these connections, and eventually you start to just see the fretboard like a true master, and you'll have a much more useful time with really any and all of these scales, just kind of learning it in a more practical approach. So if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.